Greetings fellow developers and welcome to my channel. I am Samuli and I write code, and in this channel I'm talking about code. So let's talk about Hilla. But before we do, first full disclosure. I am employed by Vaadin, the company behind Hilla, but everything I have included here is free and open source, and the code that I will show you is available at GitHub. Link is in the description. What is Hilla? Hilla is a framework that connects Spring Boot Java backends to React frontends seamlessly. For those who are familiar with Swagger, Hilla does the same job, but in more integrated fashion. The problem that I'm attempting to solve here is that starter projects at hilla.dev are not absolutely minimal. There is boilerplate code, for example, for database, routing and menu system. And if you're the kind of developer who likes to build everything from scratch and also wants to understand every file you commit into your version control, then this tutorial is for you. I will show that you only need 3 files to get fully functional Hilla project up and running. And by up and running, I mean frontend will get hello world text from Java Spring Boot server and display it in your web browser. So let's take a look what you need. First, you need maven pom.xml. It contains dependencies for Spring Boot, Hilla and React. Nothing really exciting here except that the last Maven Hilla plugin that generates the necessary files for you. Next up is the server.java. That's your backend. It has the main method that allows you to run the Spring Boot web application directly as a Java application. You could also package it as a war package and run it in Tomcat or similar. It also has an interesting method called getHello and annotation endpoint. What this means is that Hilla exposes all public methods of that annotated class in the front end so that you may call them from the browser. API that it generates is type safe, and Hilla generates TypeScript files on the background whenever you build and run your project. Traditionally, you would have used some RESTful annotations here, but then on the browser side, you would have had main those type safeness by yourself. The last one, but not the least one, is the front end. The index.ts is the entry point for the browser. So this is executed by your browser. Index.html is being auto-generated on the background with containing a div element which has an ID called outlet. Then here in the last line you will ask React to render something into that div. That something is hello world element that in turn invokes the server method getHello to fetch a string that you then display as a content. Hilla generates that server namespace based on the annotations found in server.java. And that's it. Everything else will be either generated when you build your project or downloaded as a dependency. Of course, for practical reasons, you may want to add some of those auto-generated files into version control and split your projects more reasonably. But this is the bare minimum to get things started. And to run it yourself, you need to have a Maven installed in order to use any kind of Maven project. I also included a Docker file in GitHub if you prefer to try things that way. And I dare you to try it yourself, and happy extending. And that's it. Thank you for your attention, and please subscribe and let me know in comments if you find this kind of a minimalism useful or interesting. See you at the next one.